Corner to Corner podcast. On this week's very special episode of Who Corner to Corner podcast, I'm going to ask you to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and I'm also going to ask you to give it a like, aka a thumbs up. And if you're listening on the audio podcast version, do the same thing. I'm desperate to hit 900 subscribers on YouTube. Paul's desperate to hit 1,000. And if we can do that, that would be amazing.
Amazing.
So, begging over. So what's the topic for tonight's episode? Tonight is Ask Us Anything.
Ask us
anything. And why is it Ask Us Anything, Paul?
Because
we'd run out of things to talk about.
Well, I had loads of ideas, frankly, but you didn't like any of them, so we're doing this instead. There you go.
Well, we didn't have an episode last week, did we?
No, because somebody decided to go camping, and I was away as well. So
yes, I noticed how you
like
frame that on me.
Camping?
Yeah, I do like camping.
Staying in a tent, sleeping on the ground, that kind of thing. Communing with nature.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of that? Was there? Did you go frolicking in the trees down to the stream and your little shift?
The kids did go frolic in the stream, actually.
Did they go feral? Did they go hunting wild animals and dragging the skins back to base or something like that? Yeah.
They did a bit, and then someone started the rumour that there was eels in the stream.
Oh, did that freak them out?
So they're going, I've seen one, I've seen an eel.
Oh.
And I was like, there'd be no eels in this stream here.
No eels here.
No eels here. So it was really good. But yeah, I was away and you were away, and then I was at my
summertime. I don't know how we let that happen, actually, because normally do you know what? This is the first time we've ever broken our weekly run since we started this podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Deeply ashamed of that. How do we let that happen, Jeff? It's shocking.
Well, we didn't schedule. August is a difficult month, isn't it? It's people are on holiday, people are tied up with kids and stuff.
Plan to fail. That's that's how it goes.
But as we were inundated with demands for our episode, obviously everyone was deeply missing us.
So we're back. Hello, everybody.
We're back. Hello, everyone. So we've got a couple of questions for Ask Us Anything this year. So I'm going to kick off with the first one here from X, from DWFan91. Are you having a nice day?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? Are you having a nice day? Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day, so I'm going to rephrase that to, have you had a nice day?
Yes.
So, yeah, that's it. I've had a really boring day, actually, because I've just been working solidly throughout the whole thing. And even though I love what I do in my day job tremendously, because I wouldn't do it otherwise, it's literally just been sitting in front of a computer all day from about 9 o'clock this morning till about 6:30 this evening. And my daughter's been at home as well, and she's been really sick with the flu. She's been disgusting, so there's been snot pouring out of her. So I try to give her as much distance as possible and feed her with drugs. So yeah, that's my day. It's great.
Just like a normal day for you then.
It's just fabulous, brilliant. Couldn't have had a better day. I cannot think what I would rather have done today than what I actually did. So yes, it was brilliant. Thank you, caller.
Take your meth.
What about yours, Jeff? What have you been up to, my friend? You've got lots on the horizon.
Well, I've been over to an epilepsy care home this morning to do some filming, which involved the marketing lady I know doing a vlog, so set the auto cue up for that. Came home, started straight onto that edit, had some stuff to finish off for an event I filmed for the 200th year of rail travel
200
anniversary.
years of rail travel? I've seen those little adverts, I don't know, messages, celebrate 200 years of the railway around and about the place. So,
I didn't realise it was that long. So
they
did
marketed
that,
it
and
brilliantly.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I don't actually go to use the train all that often. So
you've been out in the woods as well, haven't you? So, building campfires and toasting marshmallows and singing Kumbaya and whatever.
Yeah, got back quite late yesterday.
At least 7:30.
Got back then to a food shop, so didn't have any food. And then
did you bring any marshmallows and deerskins back with you then?
No, the marshmallows were all toasted. I was quite pleased with myself. I got fire going. Oh, natural.
Well done. What did you flick the wood, the kindling and tinder and whatnot? Did you just bring a Zippo with you?
Tinder.
Just bring a little petrol-fired zip on, clink it up like chink.
Well, we done a barbecue, and then I took the embers and placed them around and put the twigs and then wood on it and blew on it enough to ignite it.
I would pay money to see that.
Well,
blow harder, Jeff. Blow harder, man. You're not blowing hard enough. Blow, God damn you.
And then,
blow. Blow like your life depends on it.
I smeared ash on my face and ripped my shirt off and ran through the woods.
Like Predator, like Arnie in the jungle, did you?
Yeah. Oh, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
I know what you did. You hid in the mud, didn't you?
Yeah.
You hid in the mud with all the leaves on you and all that, like. And then when the kids were coming across, you went,
I actually did do that. We took a midnight walk at half past 9 at night, and
I'm gonna be careful, mate. There's no injunction out on you for that.
And I ran up ahead and hid round behind a little shed thing that was in the woods, and then I put my torch under my face, and then I leapt out.
Oh my God! Trauma.
Made him shriek.
Shriek.
So that, and then today I just want to say I was very kindly sent. You can sort of see it here. A surprise from Chris.
Oh yes, Magic. Yeah, you sent me the picture of that. Well done, mate. Very nice. Mm-hmm.
Play Magic the Gathering with Chris, and Chris wins every single game of Magic except for one in the last 2 years, and I think probably out of guilt at that, he surprised me with a Recon Dalek figure, which was something I had long wanted to get, and so it was very kind of him, and he sent a few Magic dice and cards as well.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful
sent a few things to.
Well done,
so it was very kind of him, and he sent a few things to Graham as well that we know.
Because let's be honest, you don't get anything from me, do you? I don't send you anything.
Well, you sent me some work.
I do, yeah, a little bit of that, yeah, just a few morsels here and there.
Actually I meant to text you and say I could start doing some more again soon.
Speak to my PA, she'll sort it out.
So, got another question here from Frankie Pie. Frankie is quite new to us.
Hello.
So Frankie says, I'm new to your podcast, so sorry if you've been asked before. How did you meet, and do you often meet up in person? Love the positivity in your podcast, and especially enjoyed the We Love Doctor Who episode.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you,
Frankie. I think Frankie has possibly followed us on Blue Sky as well.
It's not posted on Blue Sky. I keep forgetting all these social media accounts. I keep forgetting about them all.
Yes, we've got quite a few.
On that one.
So people might have heard this before, but Frankie obviously hasn't, and that's fine. So during the dark days of lockdown,
during COVID, back in the day,
what was it before? We were in a chat group on Twitter, weren't we? Which was for people who loved Jodie's Doctor, and we were chatting, and then we connected.
Well, these people who didn't
LinkedIn.
Kick off every time anyone spoke about him.
Yeah, they liked it, yeah.
Actually like Doctor Who. We're in a chat group of people who actually like Doctor Who. It's amazing. It's a brilliant chat group. Lovely people in there as well, actually. Yeah, they're all great.
Yeah, we've met a few of them in person, haven't we? We connected on LinkedIn, started talking about work and life and blah, blah, blah. And then
because I neneeded a video producer, and you seemed to be a man who knew what he was doing, or at least knew someone who did.
Yeah, we did do something, didn't we? And you mentioned that you hadn't watched...
we did that big gig.
Yeah. You said you hadn't watched many or all of, or much of the Marvel films.
Marvel films, yes. In a Doctor Who chat group, and we talked about work and Marvel films.
This was on LinkedIn, wasn't it? This was away from there. And I said...
we did that. I'll chat on LinkedIn.
There's a podcast in there, isn't there? And we're going at it from corner to corner. Your corner is having never seen any of it, and my corner is having seen it all. We're going to meet in the middle and explore.
Well, yes, you thought of the title, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And it was the corner to corner thing. And I remember this, Frankie, because let me tell you a little story here, right? So I can't remember exactly who. I think it was actually me who decided to do the whole podcast thing, because as Jeff said, I haven't watched many Marvel films. I made a pact to myself that through lockdown I was going to watch them. Jeff clearly loved his Marvel films, as was evident from his post on LinkedIn and Twitter and what have you. And we got in touch and said, we sort of agreed that it'd be a great idea if we did a podcast. You know them, inside and out. I don't really know them at all. Let's get together and see what happens. And then you came out with the title, and you texted me the title, like, I don't know, it was like an hour or two before we were going to do the first episode. And you explained the concept, and it was brilliant. And I thought, that's great. Yeah, I wish I'd thought of that, but I didn't. So that is entirely Jeff, the whole corner to corner thing. And then, right, given that we're on the podcast, and my little heart's going flutter, flutter, because I'd never really done this before. And then you said, why don't you explain the title, the premise, Paul? I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do that, Jeff, yeah. Since you're the one who thought about it, how great is that to pass it on to your buddy to do when you're the one who thought of it? He does this all the time. But it was good fun. And I really, really enjoyed that Marvel podcast. We just sort of left it, didn't we? We started doing a Doctor Who one as well, like, because we got as far as we could with all the Marvel films and TV series out there.
Everything as that was out by that point. Was it Hawkeye we got to? And then,
we did do Hawkeye. Yeah, we did Loki. We did WandaVision. We did right up to the Eternals, I think. Did we do another movie after Eternals?
So, yeah.
So we did pretty much all of them at that point.
Yeah, we did all of it. And then there was nothing else to sort of watch at that point. So we said, well, we're enjoying this. Why don't we carry on and do, Doctor Who, because we love that.
Both loved Doctor Who.
Yeah. So we did.
Oh, yes. And also, it was the year that Jodie announced she was... No, it was Flux, wasn't it?
Flux, yeah. She was going to be leaving.
So it was, it was definitely COVID. And... I remember Chris Chibnall was doing, was it San Diego Comic Con in San Diego?
Yeah.
And they did it all remotely, didn't they? And
That's right, yes.
He drops a few things like Swarm and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Because I watched that when I was on holiday. And actually, me and Freya watched it on YouTube, like, because we had to,
And do you remember people were like, it must stand for Sontaran's Weeping Angels.
That was an acronym,
something master. And then, of course... They all did turn up, but Swarm's obviously
Swarm's the main dude. Wow, what a dude! And then we ended up interviewing him a year later or so.
Maybe
not even a year, actually.
No, but
was it about a year?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I have to check anyway. But no, it was after Power of the Doctor. It was all done. But yeah, so it just sort of went from there. And occasionally people say we're going to pick up the MCU one, and maybe we should, but time is the
I've got
enemy.
loads of time.
You
Frankly,
have,
I do. Jeff doesn't. He's right in the thick of it. God bless him.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing what you do actually manage to do, given the time that you don't have. To be fair, I am genuinely, actually, I'll say it in the public here. I'm generally in awe of how you get so much done, because I couldn't, and I wouldn't. See, I do what is called delegation, Jeff. I delegate things to other people who are better than me at doing them, and they do them, and it's great.
Well, I tried that and it didn't work, because I just go and stay. So
just can't do it.
Got to just get on with it. But do we meet up in person? Well, we do. And in fact,
fight. We strip off our shirts, we get in a ring, we slap ourselves in lard, and then we just go at it with big, massive, pointy foam fingers. We don't actually do that. Imagine if we did do that. That would be great fun. Or was that just
I don't want to imagine.
It's one of my fever dreams.
But we are actually getting together next Friday, aren't we, at my film festival event?
Oh, yeah.
And we do get together probably a couple of times a year. Well, when did I see you last? March, April?
You came down this way, didn't you? You came down to Salisbury to see the Chris Chibnall play.
Yep, did that.
You saw. Got lost in the car park. Mine. This is another thing, actually. Whenever Jeff and I do meet up, especially if it's somewhere he's not familiar with, if I go down to his place, fine. He's already there. He's set up. He's got the food in, got the beers, already going. And the dancing girls, they're all on the way. It's all organised. Jeff turns up anywhere that he's not too familiar at. There's a ton of WhatsApp messages. There's a ton of panicked phone calls. Where am I going? What am I doing? Well, what can you see? I don't know. What am I looking at? Where are you going? What is this? Don't turn down there. Oh, my goodness me. Every time. I don't know how you do it. The most disorganised person when it comes to any of that sort of forward planning stuff that I've ever met in my life, ladies and gentlemen.
I went to the car park at Salisbury or wherever it was.
Tiny little car. Well, actually, it's not tiny. It's quite expansive, actually, isn't it? It's quite a big one.
And then it goes into an underground car park, and then that comes out into like absolute rubbish.
That's why it's like around here, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's why I got lost. But yeah, we went
head
to
towards the lights. Walk to the lights, man.
But there's lights everywhere because
that's because only because they were doing road works. Because they were digging half of it up.
Yeah, they were actually. Yeah, but
But then also in Comic Con as well. You're like,
yeah, we went to
actually, you
Comic-Con.
had done forward planning for that one, but you still couldn't find your parking space.
No, I got there, and the parking
Here we
space
go.
that I'd booked
Here we go. Yeah.
was they'd oversubscribed the car park.
Shocking.
And then I decided to try my luck and get into the main XL car park, and they said, "Oh, where did you book?" And I said, "At the hotel next door." "Oh yeah, go to the overflow bit." "Oh, well, good signage."
Which is where
Well
we
done.
actually booked in the first place. I was quite fortunate
Idiots.
at that, wasn't it?
Well, if I hadn't tried it, I don't know what I'd have done.
Never have known.
So,
yeah, you'd have had to get your
there was-
helicopter.
Yeah, there was a lot of people going around annoyed because
Well, you could do what I
couldn't
do,
park.
which is not drive into London. Just get a train, man. Just get a
Yeah, but
train.
it was going to take me ages
Sit
from
on
here.
a train, you can have your champagne, you can eat your packet of hedgehog crisps, and you can read a book, watch your iPad, watch a film, practice your Italian or Spanish, and generally kind of flirt with the conductor as he passes by. And it's fun, mate. You don't have to worry about anything until you step off the train and you're back in the noise.
I don't actually
Rarely.
mind the driving, but I was like, yeah, it's going to take me way too long to get up there on the train.
Which is mad
Not
because
up
you're
for
closer to London than I am. I'm
Yeah,
miles
but
away.
it's that thing of some lines,
Hmm.
it's not going direct to it. I've got to go up, go over, and then go back down again. And
200 years of the railway, ladies and gentlemen, and he still can't get to London in a straight line for less than an hour.
so I'm going to go to another question here.
Go
So
on,
this
then.
one is a bit more serious, then I'll follow it up with a more light-hearted one.
Do I need to put my
this is
serious
also-
face on?
Yes, you should do. So this is also from Twitter.
It's
and
called
this is
X. It's been called X for at
X.
least 2 years.
This is from Space, who
It's a
is
message
very
from
supportive.
space.
Shut up.
Sorry, I'm
Who's
excited.
Very, very supportive of the podcast. So, with how long it's been and RTD's less than desirable comments of late about the future of the show, do you think we are in a hiatus? Like Disney must be out at this point, right? And things mustn't be going well with the others the way RTD is talking.
Oh,
So,
dear. Oh,
what's your take?
It's trouble at mill, lad, isn't it? You know what I mean? Trouble at mill. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm old enough to have been there at the original hiatus. You know, between Colin Baker's first season and Trial of a Time Lord. So I was there for that. It was 18 months. It was pure agony. 18 months of no Doctor Who, but that was nothing compared to what happened in the 90s or at the end of 1989 season when it just seemed to stop for good. And then there was promises of reboots and films and another TV series and straight-to-video stuff and webcasts, and there was some of that sort of popping up and everywhere. And then there was the movie, and it was like, yeah. And then that was it. So we had the whole promise of Paul McGann's Eighth Doctor snatched away from our very fingertips right at the moment of his glorious exaltation. So, frankly, having been through that, I think a couple of years off air is just not a big deal. I don't really care that much about it, to be honest. You know, I'm not. I understand a lot of people will be worried there may be no more Doctor Who, but if that's the case, then you know what we've had is 20 years plus since the reboot in 2005, and they've been 20 glorious years where it's found new fans, it's found a new energy, a whole new whole raft of media that's come out of it. So, you know, it's been great, and I'm sure Doctor Who will never really go away. And if it is a hiatus, I'm sure that's all it is, just a little pause between the next generation. So, and if that's it, I will look forward to that as much as if the series were actually genuinely returning next year, which it probably isn't. But yeah. That's my take on it. What about you, Jeffo?
It doesn't look great, to be honest.
That's blatant, it?
You know, I think I sort of feel a bit like, why did they not get Disney to commit to doing 3 years and tie down Shooty to 3 years and all of that? Because the BBC have done this all along. Oh my God. We don't actually have a Doctor in place for the 50th anniversary because we didn't sign Matt Smith up on a contract for anything more than a year at a time. It's like, you know, why does American TV multiple season contracts, and over here we seem to do an episode by episode?
Play it by ear.
Yeah. So I think that was a bit of a faux pas. I think that maybe there was I suppose, let's be honest, I think we all hoped, well, not we all, because I have thoughts on this, but lots of people hoped that RTD returning would, and the partnership of Disney were going to put the show up to a bigger level, which would have been great. It hasn't worked. Whether it was, I don't know. Did it just not click? Was it really that not great? Was the Disney, did Disney not push it hard enough? Who knows? There's many things at play.
We shall never know for many years.
We shall never know.
Until they release it like the Kennedy files. We shall never know.
It'll be on the new collection box sets. But it was obvious that they thought that it would be bigger than ever, and it didn't happen. So I think that probably that, coupled with the fan response, has given Disney cold feet, and I imagine that they have now pulled out. I think Ncuti has walked because he was not committed into anything. He was probably told, we don't know what's going on, we don't know when it's going to happen. So he's thought, well, I can't hang around for this, I need to go and work, And even if they had said, it will be another series, it was going to be a year before filming, began anyway. So anyway, I don't know. But are we in a hiatus? I think there will be what you would term a hiatus, even if they come back tomorrow and say, yes, we're going to make another series, because apparently
it's still going to take a while to do that, isn't it?
Exactly. So let's say these supposed third series scripts were in place. They're going to need to be retooled for whoever's the Doctor, Billy, and then even if it goes into production next week, it's never going to air.
No, it's still going to be 2030, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Well, at the rate most high-end TV shows seem to be made at,
the Stranger Things. Crikey.
I know. I saw somewhere the other day that they did 2 series of Wednesday in 3 or 4 years or something, and I appreciate that. Maybe it's like, right, Jenna Ortega, quite busy doing her films and stuff like that. If we want her, we need to give gaps between things, but still, like, and I know we're not making things like Bones or Castle, which is the same sets all the time, and it fairly contained things. These are much bigger scale productions, but 3 or 4 years for 2 short seasons is a bit of a joke.
I know. It seems to be the way TV is now, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And,
But I know that what production's like. These shows are high end, and they're vastly different to things like like something like ER or something like that. Do you know what I mean? That sort of shows largely.
Maybe there's a case we said for actually scaling it back a little bit.
Maybe,
if these things are, and it's not just Doctor Who, it's all of this stuff, isn't it? Like you're saying, Wednesday and Strange Things and all kinds of other things that just seem to take forever to get out. And it's like you could, I don't know, you sort of pass through the age limits of things. I know when Freya started, when I first started watching Stranger Things, Freya was like, I don't know, what she 8, 9 years old, my daughter, and she was, and now she's like 18, and we're still not finished. She didn't start watching it until she was like 15, by which time series 3 was out, I think. And then series 4, we both watched that as it came through, and now we're waiting for this series 5. But, she's going to be at uni next year. I'm going to be older. There's going to get to a point when I'm going to be literally hobbling around with my Zimmer frame, waiting for the next series of whatever it is to come out. Is it out yet, Pat? I don't know, dearest. I've seen an advert on the television, but I don't know when he's coming out. Well, give us a shout when he's coming out, would you? I'm going to go take me meds now. Oh, that's going to be me in 2 years from now, literally.
You lose interest.
What was it again? I'm going to play dominoes with old Knock Knock.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, I think the show is probably in a hiatus. And I think, like you said, though, we have expanded media on a level that I don't think any other show has.
Hey, we got Target books back. Hooray! And there's loads of those that can come through.
We do have Target books back, but they're all recent episodes.
Cold water on it. And when they've done the recent episodes, they'll have to go back and do all the other episodes.
Yeah, they should balance it out a bit more. But anyway, it's great that they're doing them. We've got new 13th Doctor audios. We've got 9th Doctor audios.
Yeah.
Big Finish are chucking out loads of stuff that's great. I've just been listening to the recent 60 set today, which has been really good.
I listened to any of them for a little while, actually.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
Interestingly, recorded about 4 years ago. So I think
that's forward planning. That is, mate.
Yeah,
that's what that is. You plan ahead. You build a strategy, and you get a team of people. See, again, Nick Briggs doesn't do it all. He delegates. Big Finish have little teams working on individual little box sets and little arcs and things, don't they?
Yeah.
Their own team of directors, their own little producers, music people, and all of that, and they look after that unit. Whereas it seems like, Bad Wolf, just everything. It's like RTD's at the top of a pyramid, or should be, delegating stuff downwards, and maybe he does do that, but it feels more like actually it's an inverted pyramid, so everything chokes through one single person, and that's not an effective way to run a ship, mate. I'll tell you now.
It's not. No.
It's not.
No.
This is why you should delegate, Jeff.
Yeah.
Keep telling him that.
And
literally, it's free advice. I charge for this shit, by the way.
Space said...
My number's going to be down the bottom. Yeah, well...
Space said talks with, other partners must not be going well, and there's rumours that Amazon were going to buy and stuff, but because I think
they'll get Villeneuve on it,
and it'll never actually be shown on telly. But I think Doctor Who as a concept is,
it's immortal. It'll never disappear. No.
But I think that I think sadly it's ended up getting a bit messed up this recently.
Well,
and
a lot of people enjoyed it though. A lot of people said the last couple of series has been the best it's been for like 10 years or whatever.
But then, just because, I think now, that's what you read online, it literally doesn't represent, the wider world. But you can't, Disney and the BBC do their research. I know they do. In fact, I do these survey things every so often, and I had one recently about Doctor Who.
Oh, did you?
What did I think of it? And it was
you can't talk
a BBC
about it.
thing.
You'll break the terms of your contract.
No, it's not like that. But
it was on the back of a fake packet.
I get all sorts of survey things come up, but they do their research, so they'll know, what the kind of consensus is on things. And I would imagine the fact that Disney have not leapt at renewing means they've done quite a lot of research. But anyway, I don't think a Doctor Who is not a format that can die. And I think if it's, if it takes a few years off, comes back with somebody else in charge and a fresh new team on it, I think it'll go. I don't agree with this thing of, it needs 5 to 10 years off for people to forget about it, because I just don't sort of think, that works really like that. But I think it needs to have a new, I don't know, it just needs something different now, perhaps.
It needs some sort of reinvention, perhaps, which it does anyway every sort of 2 or 3 years.
And we hit, absolute peak, a few years ago.
In 1980 with season 18. Clearly, absolutely, you're right, Jeff. It's never been better than that, frankly.
With 2018.
Oh, right, that.
And then it's pretty hard to top that. But
everyone's got their peak, mate. There's lots of different peaks.
But there's books, there's audios, there's all sorts of stuff. It's not going anywhere. It just might be that we have to consume it, in air quotes, in a different way. And so, if it's not on telly, fine. I got 13th Doctor and 9 audios, so
hurrah
I'm
for you.
happy.
What's next?
Next is the British alien asking, posted a picture of 13 and Yaz eating ice creams on the top of the TARDIS. Wouldn't Sutek have scoffed their ice creams?
Yeah, he would have done, yeah. I'm having your ice cream, yes. And the Doctor, yeah.
So,
absolutely would.
Quite possibly, yeah. So I'm going to hop over to Blue Sky here. So Dr. 03 asks, what is the ideal number of companions for a TARDIS crew? I feel 1 or 2 max is the best fit. Thanks. Love the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll just add here as well, Kenny Smith, who writes for Big Finish Vortex magazine, says, I would say 2 is a good number. 1 to stay with the Doctor while the other uncovers an even more horrible disaster waiting to happen. So, what do you think for the max number of...
Oh, this is tough, actually. This is a lot tougher than you think, because if you go with the general kind of litmus of these things, then what seems to happen is 3's too many, and 1's perfect, so you get the Doctor and a companion. And I think all of them work. I think that I'm going to go back to my old adage and say it depends on the stories. It depends what you want to do with those characters. It really does, because I mean, when we spoke to Andrew Cartmel, right, and actually it's quite interesting to listen to that last comment from wherever it was. Sorry, I forget, because I've just got a really short memory these days. But Andrew Cartmel said one of the things he didn't want to do when he was script editor of the Doctor was have the Doctor going off and having an adventure independent of his companion. Ace, usually at the time, basically that's kind of what he was on about. And because he always wanted them to be together. And I'm not going to lie as well, I always wanted them to be together as well, because I like the dynamic between the Doctor and a companion when they're together. When they're not together, it's the Doctor and some other people we've never met until that story, and the Doctor and the companion and some other people who we haven't met until that story. And then the Doctor and the companion don't get together until the end. And that's great. You can tell some really good stories from that, but it can be really, really boring. What I do like is having, and it actually what we had with the 13th Doctor, where you've got the Doctor and a little fam, a little gang of people together, and she has slightly different relationships with each one of those different people. So when it's the Doctor and Graham together, we get something that's quite sparky between them. Graham's kind of, just sort of firing all these things up, and the Doctor's almost continually sort of putting him down in a kind of friendly, non-threatening way, but actually getting quite arsey when he says he's going to pull a gun on people. And then we get the Doctor and Ryan, which is a relationship between the two that changed throughout the whole thing. Ryan was very much lacking the confidence and saw himself as massively subservient to the Doctor, and everyone around him actually thought everyone was better than him. But then at some point during series 12 that almost inverted, and Ryan was able to give the Doctor advice on what she was going through. So I love that. So, and then of course you've got the Doctor and Yaz with that, and then you got the Doctor and Dan, and obviously there's a whole plethora of everything to talk about with the Doctor and Yaz. That took us into a relationship that we'd never seen before in Doctor Who with the Doctor and a companion. And then we get Dan, who was only there for for a certain length of time, but again it was a different dynamic that the Doctor had with him. So if you split the Doctor and a companion, I think it takes a lot of potential story away from what we're watching. I think it takes a layer out of it that you could argue we don't need, because it's all about the adventure, which is very plot based, and that's all fine. But I prefer stories that do have lots of layers that you can kind of dig into, and so when you rewatch them, you see something you've never seen before, and you actually enjoy the rewatching. I do, at least, a lot more than if it's a really shallow 2-bit plot story. So I would say the ideal companion is the Doctor and more than one, really, in order to tell the best kind of story, or the story that I really, really enjoy. And you'll find also, actually, right, that when you think about it, a lot of the best, Remembrance of the Daleks is one of the greatest stories ever told in Doctor Who. And the Doctor and Ace are together for the majority of it. They have their little adventures, but they catch up together and spend time with each other a lot. Another one, the early Tom Baker stories, where we had Sarah and Harry Sullivan. And again, you get the same sort of thing. You get a different dynamic between them. And it's brilliant. And the Doctor is always with at least one of those companions while the other one's off somewhere. So, yeah, I don't think one is the best. I think it's the easiest, and we can just tell very straightforward plot-based adventure stories where one goes off and blah blah blah, but I prefer them with more, and I think that to me is a better mix. What about you, Jeffo?
Well, as I previously mentioned, I think the show hit peak quality
you haven't mentioned it, have you? Did you? Rewind 20 minutes and let's have a listen. Yeah, you did, didn't you?
When it had 3 companions. But I think you're right.
Oh, Adric, Nissa and Tegan, you mean? Absolutely.
When you've got more people, there's more character stuff, there's more, interpersonal, interplay and dynamics and, friction and, all that kind of thing.
Well, there could be, yeah.
Well, there could be, yeah.
If the writer knows what they're doing with them.
Well, do you know what? I don't even think you don't have to have friction. I think, people kind of, like Yaz and the Doctor, sort of largely got on.
Yeah, they had their moments, didn't they? There were a few little spiky moments, but that's just
which is realistic. It is. Yeah, but if you didn't get on with people, you wouldn't travel with them. You avoid them.
Can you imagine being stuck in a TARDIS with Adric?
So yeah, I think you're right. One companion, it works. It probably allows more sort of story, stuff, or more supporting characters to be featured. But I think two or more is that's what I obviously with my preference for a particular era. I like the more companions. It just gives you more. There's more story options.
Absolutely.
One with the Doctor, number two with the Doctor, number three with the Doctor, two or three together. All sorts of things. And it gives you more to do. So I enjoy all of it. But I do quite like that, and I think it worked quite well with Rory and Amy and Bill and Nardole and stuff, so yeah, I think more is quite good, really.
I think as well, like even back to the first Doctor, initially had three companions. So it was granddaughter Susan plus Ian and Barbara,
been there
wasn't it?
From day one, really. Yeah.
Patrick Troughton again had Zoe and Jamie for most of it, or was Jamie and Victoria, or Polly, Ben, and Jamie for a short space of time, the three of them. But there was always at least two companions throughout the whole of Troughton's here, and I think it's really only when you get to John Pertwee, the third Doctor, that you just get Joe Grant or Liz Shaw. But then that's still backed up by the whole unit family thing for most of those stories. So
we were more than just sort of recurring.
Exactly.
Parts, really.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Most of the time, well, or certainly a large amount, it's the Doctor and multiple companions. But
so again, really, it's only the fourth Doctor where we have a continual long run of stories where it's just the Doctor and one companion.
Yeah. It doesn't happen that often.
And then sixth Doctor, seventh Doctor, but interesting. I never really thought of it like that before.
So I've got one more question from Blue Sky, then you can go to Facebook.
Oh, right.
So this is from Geordie Toybox, who says, Cyberman, Sontaran, Weeping Angel, Snog, marry, avoid.
God, I saw that question earlier. I thought, I hope he doesn't ask that one.
What a great question.
Snog, marry, avoid. Can you avoid all of them?
I would avoid the Weeping Angel.
Would you?
Oh, I don't know. No, actually, I don't know. No,
would you rather avoid the Weeping Angel and snog a Sontaran? Is that what you're saying?
No, snog the Weeping Angel, get sent back in time, take
just
your
don't
chances.
shut your eyes.
Yeah.
If you shut your eyes and you kiss, that's no good.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Avoid the Cyberman, because it will make you like him, and marry the Sontaran.
Would you marry a Sontaran?
To be honest, that is not a question I ever thought I'd have to answer.
In life, ever.
In life.
You'd rather marry a Sontaran, would you? Actually, do you know what? Maybe that's not a bad idea, because they're probably quite good around the house, aren't they, I guess?
Well,
they do things. You go out for a drink with them every now and then.
Yeah.
Cook a nice meal.
I don't really know.
Do go house and washing up.
Yeah.
Take your kids down the park. Go camping. Go feral. Watch out for eels in the stream.
That's a great question.
Hey, I'll tell you what, actually, really if you married a Sontaran, right, they would fight for you hand over fist. Eh?
Yeah.
They'd be pretty good in a fight, mate, I'll tell you now. So
yes,
that'd be good. You can have a protector Sontaran. Cyberman, though, would you avoid a Cyberman? You will be like us. Yeah, that's dodgy, isn't it? You can never trust a Cyberman. Bloody hell, you could wake up in the middle of the night with the screaming frighteners and it's just staring at you with its Mondas face and handles in the dark, with its mouth open and not moving and saying anything. What the fuck are you doing, Cheryl? Get to bed, for crying out loud. What's the matter with you? I cannot sleep. You have left your washing out again, you dirty fellow. You must learn to pick it up and put it in the washing machine, you bastard.
Well,
You said
hope
you were going to cook today, and you have not even been to the shops. You go to Morrison's with your Cyberman, don't you? Pushing a trolley, do you know what I mean? What do you think of these, love? Do you want some of these? Like, they are not like us. They will be deleted. It's all the Cyberman voices I can do in 5 minutes right there. It's not bad, eh?
It's pretty good. Well,
excellent.
Thanks for that, Geordie. Geordie Toybox. That has taken this places I didn't.
I mean, you couldn't even give them anything, could you? Because, you know, you give them a wine glass and say, right, here you go, love. Can you just move those back into the cupboard that they came from? And it'd be like, crush. Oops. I have squashed another wine glass. You know, they're fragile. And he'd be like, you don't even care, do you? If you had an emotional argument, you don't care about anything. There's nothing that I do that you care about. You might as well be dead to you. That would be a good idea. We do not have emotions. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be rough with a Cyberman. Yeah, don't marry the Cyberman. Avoid them totally.
You know what? I need to clip a bit out from this episode for social.
I've done that now. I've done.
You've done it.
I've done. I'm spent.
Right. Go to Facebook.
Right. Facebook. Let me just get on my little phone. I had it all loaded up here. Let's have a look at Facebook and see what... Right, okay, here's a good one then. So Eleanor Jodie Alashevsky, who's one of our great friends on Facebook, so she's been with us a few years now, so hi, asks, what was the first Doctor Who story you remember seeing? Probably not in that accent, so apologies there. It just came out, you know, it just happens. So I know the answer to this, but new listeners might not. Jeff, what was the first Doctor Who story you remember seeing?
I remember seeing Silver Nemesis.
Oh, was that a Cyberman story?
It was, actually.
Excellent. Yeah. How's David Banks doing? Excellent. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Who's that? Yeah, so that's what I remember seeing. Mm-hmm. So, what was yours?
Oh, was that it? I thought you were going to go on a bit more then. You're just keeping it short and sweet.
I've talked about that before. I remember seeing it.
He did, yeah.
And asking to go and watch it when I was at my grandparents in Cornwall. My dad saying no, but my gran saying, yes, dear, you go watch it. So yeah, I have quite strong memories of that.
So how fun was it? Go on. I'll ask you this in a minute.
And I think I must have seen other stuff because I can remember bits of Tom Baker, and I remember Peter Davison bowling and things like that. So, you know, I think we've talked about it before. They were probably repeats that were on at another time because I don't think I would have remembered them going out, you know, when they did.
So, Silver Nemesis, right, which is kind of a middling Doctor Who story, but nonetheless, it was the one that you remember. So, how much fun was it, do you think, to have Andrew Cartmel telling us all about it? Like, not only when we interviewed him, but when we saw him quite recently, we had him down at our gig, didn't we? We did a gig, ladies and gentlemen, and we invited Andrew to it, and he came and showed up, and he was absolutely brilliant and wonderful and everything else. And he's talking about stuff like that, and he's talking about Casualty, and he's talking about, well, Hi-Fi, because that's the reason we had him.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It was not a music gig. We are talentless in that area. It was a...
Oi, speak for yourself. I've got a lot of musical prowess, I'll have you know. I was in a band when I was in sixth form. I was going to be famous. I was going to be more famous than ZZ Top and everything.
Did you have the beard?
No, I didn't do the beard. No, I did have purple hair, though. I actually had quite long metal hair. Like, so I was a metalhead back in the day. And it was purple.
Like
but it was but it was like a cheap
Cyberman.
Purple. Yeah, it was deep purple, man. Deep purple. Come on, get with it. Honestly,
what do you call a deep purple covers band? Cheap purple.
Just don't do that. But the trouble is, right, because it was the 80s, and I have quite sensitive skin anyway, right? So it actually stung the buggery. I shouldn't. You know, like when they say just test a bit on your hair, on a sensitive bit on your head before you splash it all over yourself. So I was like in pain for like days, and it really hurt, but I couldn't tell anybody about it because I really wanted my hair to be dyed purple, and I was just fucking hurting, and tears were coming out of my eyes every time. And then to make it worse, it like didn't last that long because I would sweat and you get like little purple rivulets coming down your face. It was the most embarrassing thing I ever did.
Have you got photos of that?
Strangely not. I do actually, yeah, but you will see them when I pass them on, when I shrug my mortal coil. Not when I'm living. I don't know. If I can dig one out, I will show you it. But it means going up into the loft into a very dark space.
I need to see that.
Yeah.
I used
to do like Marillion stuff and everything. I used to pretend I was Fish. You know, Fish from Marillion.
Yeah.
You know, I was singing along to all the songs on that. And we did attempt playing some in my band. We did, what was it? Assassin. You know that from Fugazi? That you probably don't know that. I'll shut up.
No,
anyway.
I don't know that.
That's a whole different thing. Anyway, speak for yourself when you say you're not musical. Honestly, I can play multiple instruments, just not very well. Right, my first Doctor Who story, bringing it back on topic. You see, I don't know. I think I might have said this before, actually. I don't remember one specific story because Doctor Who's always been on when I was little. So I do have sort of weird recollections of various fragments of things like the Braid of Morbius, Ark in Space, and Sontaran Experiment was a new one, and quite a lot of Tom Baker stories, but never watched them all the way through until season 18. And I saw most of Warrior's Gate, and I absolutely loved it, and I was getting really into it. And I don't think I saw most of episode 1, so I came with it partway through episode 1. I know I saw 2 and 3 because I made a date to watch it, and I was really getting into the story. And then it came to episode 4 the week after, and I really wanted to see how it was all going to play out. Started, goes along, went on for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I was really, really sort of I was just so excited by it. It was so high concept, and it just fired my brain. It just seemed to be everything I wanted from a weird TV show. And then my dad comes in, and he goes, "Oh, you're watching this shit." Turns it over onto ITV to watch Buck Rogers. Or Wilma Deering. I think I've said this before because it was Wilma Deering that he really wanted to see. And that was that. So I managed to catch the remaining few stories of season 18 but made a date with myself that I was definitely going to watch it when Peter Davison took over. And I kind of did. That was when I started becoming a fan. That was like a hiatus even then between the end of Tom Baker and the start of Peter Davison. Because normally Doctor Who would finish in was it sort of April, May sort of time sometimes. And then it'd be back in September, October. So it wasn't very long between each season. But this one finished whenever it finished, and it wasn't back until like almost 12 months later or something. So in between times, what they had was that 5 Faces of Doctor Who season, where we could go and watch. They showed an Unearthly Child, the Crotons, basically one story from each Doctor, culminating with Legopolis. So that was brilliant. And what I had done was read a lot of Target books. Then as well. So I mean, I grew up mostly reading Target books as my Doctor Who thing, rather than actually watching it on the TV. So yeah, that's me, if you like. That's my answer. It's another quite a long one, isn't it? I'll shut up now. Here's another one. So. Okay, we got one from Brandon Foley actually, but I'm going to read it out, but we have actually answered this one. But let's have Brandon acknowledge. Thank you, Brandon, for your question, which says, what encouraged you to create this wonderful, well-loved podcast? Brackets, I'm a huge fan of your work. Thank you, Brandon. The envelope is in the post, so don't. It's all good, mate. No, thank you for that. Really kind words. We love it when people say that. So thank you a lot for that.
Yeah, honestly, it does make
it means a lot.
Big difference.
It genuinely does. Yeah. So the other one is Craig Lighthowler, who's contributed a few questions to us over the years, and Craig says. I watch a few different podcasts and on occasion find myself at different levels of agreement with their views on the show. Do you gents, that's very kind, we're gents, do you gents watch any of the other Doctor Who podcasts out there? If so, do any of them wind you up with their views/opinions? Do they? Do they, Jeff? And do you and do they? I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest here. I don't really watch any others, which may come as a shock. And there's probably 2 reasons why. Time is one.
Lack of.
As Paul mentioned earlier, it's a lack of time. So
you didn't even have time to listen to our podcast, let alone anybody else's. If you did, then you would have known that actually last week's episode went out in mono, not stereo.
Yeah, that's one mistake out of nearly 300 episodes.
Yeah, I've been counting. I've got a little book. There's many more. I have my
job, my main job, my filming job. I have another job as a bid member in town.
Oh, do you? Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what you
yeah.
are. Yeah. Just never heard it called that before.
Yeah.
As you're writing out parking tickets.
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that. No.
And then obviously I've got 3 kids, and then all, household stuff as well. And then I do this, have my bit of Avatar stuff, the film festival things. And yeah, time is limited, often of an evening. By the time things have, finished and jobs are done at home and whatnot, it's 10 p.m. And, then my wife will watch something on telly, or I've got to go and get on some more work because I've been, out or whatever. I don't have the time to watch 30 minutes, hour on YouTube of anything, I just don't really do that. I just don't watch YouTube stuff, and I don't really listen to podcasts because I just don't have the time. It'll take me ages to get through a Big Finish audio. You went on your Cyberman rant, so now I'm explaining about this. So it's not because I'm not interested in anyone. It's I haven't got the time to commit to it, really. It took me 3 nights to watch Thunderbolts the other day.
But you'd already seen it.
Yeah, months ago. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying, mate. I do. I mean, I do find myself sort of low on time myself. It is a tough one, but I don't think it's much time with me. I think because I find it difficult to commit to lots of things, to be honest, and I do. So I have listened to other podcasts, and I've actually enjoyed them when I've listened to them. I'm not sure if I really disagree. No, there was one I did disagree with, which was it's one you were on, actually. I think it was Joe's podcast, Hamster with a Blunt Penknife, which I've listened to a lot of those. If there's anybody else's podcast, actually, it's his. And,
yes, also I've listened to a few of those, and they are great.
And I've listened to the Review of Death. Those guys are quite good, actually. I do like them. They do wind me up quite a bit. But
can I just say before I forget?
I was in my flow, man. Go on.
Carry on.
No, go on.
It's not that I'm not interested in anyone.
You've already dug your grave, mate.
There is a lot of there is a lot of negativity out there, not from those guys you mentioned. And Craig said, does anyone wind me up or anything? And I think there is quite a lot, that is moaning and is negative and picking holes and things. But I don't want to listen to stuff like that. So even if I had the time, that wouldn't be something I'd listen to. I think someone like Joe, his podcast is hilarious. It's brilliant. And there is, a fair balance on it all. But the overall thing is, we love the show.
Yeah, exactly that. It's an affectionate dig at times, but it's always in a positive direction.
Yeah.
But I was going to say the one that I listened to you, that was an epic one. I think that went off like 5 hours or something. I think you recorded it over 2 days.
They are really long. Yeah.
It was massive.
But even then, we had to record it, much to Rod's annoyance, some weeks apart because I was not able to start podcasting at 7 p.m.
Yeah, enough about you. Anyway, listen, right, you can let me finish my story or what? And in fact, it doesn't matter now because the impetus has gone. It's just disappeared. I was about to big you up and say you were really good on that podcast, but no, you want to just make excuses for your lack of time planning. That's fine, mate. Don't worry about it. It's all good. But yes, Craig, in the end, it turns out we do actually listen to other podcasts and we do have some opinions on them, or we do disagree with some of their opinions. Actually, I will go back to it because the one you were on was one where you were sort of for the 13th Doctor, and there was somebody else in there. Was it a guy from Cutaway Comics that was on as well? Plus Rod, who is clearly just not a fan of the 13th Doctor at all, which is fine. And but it was really fun listening to you two kind of go at it from various angles, and then Joe just kind of getting in there with a little knife every now and then, just stirring things up. So that was that was good fun, and yeah, Joe's done a lot of really good podcasts. So but I don't listen to them regularly because I just find it difficult to commit. And actually, I actually don't have time to listen to all of ours either. But to be honest, if I was going to commit to a podcast, it would be Who Corner's Corner, because those guys are just weird, frankly, and I like weird. So
Yeah, I mean, if anyone listens to this, Lord help you.
hey, we do a lot of stuff, mate. We do lots of things on our podcast,
I think we do quite a lot, really. Yeah, we are quite varied, and like we sort of, there's been a few comments there via these questions, and it really does mean a lot when people take the time to listen, comment, all of that kind of thing, and that's really great. Yeah.
Can I ask you anything? I've got a question for you now.
Oh,
and feel free to ask me one as well if you really want to. So what has been, because I know you're a big film buff, as regular viewers will know, and even newbies listening tonight will understand, I'm sure, that you're a big Marvel fan, and there's been a lot of good films out in the last couple of years, but in the last 12 months, what have been your top 3 films?
Thunderbolts, which I think is the best Marvel film of them all.
You did say that. We do need to do Marvel again, because I need to hear this story.
Probably Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Great end to the series. And I was going to say Fantastic Four, because I really enjoyed that enormously. But then I feel a bit like that's just saying 3 kind of quite big films that came out, and those are the only things I've seen in the cinema this year, because again, time. But I've watched stuff at home, but I can't remember off the top of my head what I've watched.
I
watched
getting old, mate.
what was it I watched recently? It was Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is a few years old now. That was a great film. I'm looking forward to watching Ballerina. I want to watch Jurassic World. Rebirth. There's various things I want to see, but like I just mentioned with Thunderbolts, if I watch a film at home, it usually takes a couple of nights for me to get through it. And I would rather try.
Is that because you fall asleep halfway through?
No, it's because by the time I'm usually able to sit down and watch when it's 11 p.m, so I can manage about an hour before.
That's what I mean. Yeah, before you fall asleep, go to bed or whatever.
Well, yeah, no, I mean I choose to go up, but yeah.
Do you?
That's essentially.
I usually just fall asleep, mate. I wake up in the middle of the morning, spit hanging from my mouth. Mostly it's after playing Xbox, so I've got a controller stuck to my face, and my little character's just walking into a wall, either because the battery's disconnected or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, it's gone into the safe holding screen many times. At that, I tell you, many times.
What's been your top 3 so far in the last
3
year?
What movie? I don't think I watched 3 movies this year, actually.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you what I have watched. I watched the Superman film, which I know you're not big on, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great fun. I thought, it's quite funny looking at some of the online chat, because a lot of people who seem to take an exception to James Gunn's Superman seem to be Snyder fans. It's quite funny watching their butt hurt, but no, we should not laugh at people's pain and desperation. I enjoyed the Snyder films. I think that, just as a side topic on that, we're very good as fans at dividing ourselves into various camps and sort of holding a flag up for our end and excluding others from it, and thinking that we know best because we like these ones and not those ones. But you know what? There's room to like multiple things. I like Marvel's films and I like DC films. Weird. Back in the day, I used to have an Xbox and a PlayStation, and I still have, but I mostly just play the Xbox. So whatever. So I don't really do that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, films. I don't know. I can't remember now. So I really like Superman one. I did like the Marvel one. What was it? The one you just said.
The Fantastic Four.
No, I haven't seen that yet. No. Wait till it comes out on streaming. The other one, Thunderbolts. That was it. Yeah. It's getting late now, and I really am old. So my brain just stopped working. It doesn't start working. Even I don't know. What am I talking about, Jeff? What's going on? Save me from this.
I watched Don't Worry, Darling recently.
It's quite good with Harry Styles.
Yeah, who was actually
and Florence Pugh. He was quite good in that. Yeah, that was a really good story.
Quite good.
Yeah, that was very kind of Truman Show sort of weird, surreal nightmare simulation kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah,
that was a good film. Yeah,
I should make a a list of stuff really, then I'll remember what I've watched.
What's your bucket list?
Yeah.
What do you mentioned Jurassic Park? Any other? What about any classics that you haven't watched that you feel you should have seen by now but haven't?
I've got a few things at home, like the old Phantom of the Opera that I bought ages ago and haven't watched. I wanted to rewatch the old not Hammer Horrors, the Universal horror things.
I got a box set of those now. I haven't watched them yet.
Yeah, I got them on DVD somewhere, but I don't know if they're on streaming anywhere.
Don't know if they are.
Yeah, but I'm mostly just waiting till December now for something out.
Something out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, we haven't mentioned that yet. Have we gone through the whole podcast without mentioning the A word? But that is a big thing for you, isn't it? That's your number one go-to.
It is really, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So
we should do a special episode. Well, no, because you do your podcast with those chums, don't you? I don't get invited to that one. It's fine.
No, it's not mine. It's a friend Sean. He runs Civico, the Avatar podcast. So
you'd never have me on that, would you?
No.
It would not be safe. Let's be honest. No.
Because it's the best fandom out there, which is not to say therefore you can't come in.
No, it's not argumentative, is it? It doesn't do the whole camp
It's really not.
It's a collective.
And it genuinely is just everyone just there might be the odd nitpick and stuff. But everyone is respectful. Everyone generally just loves it, and it really is unlike any fandom I've ever sort of been involved in or am involved in. It's phenomenal.
That's good. That's nice. I mean, a lot of that is probably because of the nature of the film's core themes, perhaps.
I think
it attracts people who are kind of earthbound, spirited sort of thing.
Well, yeah, there's a spirituality, edge to it. Connecting with nature, with one another. Protecting the environment. Stuff like that. So yeah, I think so. I mean, actually, I will say there are some people out there who think the humans have got it right in Avatar. Which is
really?
Absolutely
They're watching a different
film. Yeah, they must be trolling. They must be.
Yeah, of course they are. It's bots, mate.
You cannot watch that and think that. Yeah. So
no, you can't be on the army side of that one, can you? Not even close.
No way.
No. Fun.
Well, thank you very much for these questions tonight, everyone. It's much appreciated. This has been good fun, and we will be back soon with more.
Indeed, we will.
So keep your ears tuned to us.
Tuned to our channel. Thank you for listening. Now's a word from our sponsor. There isn't actually, because we don't have one, but if there was, just imagine. Insert sponsor here. That'll do.
Yeah, mate. Imagine it. Yeah. Just leave a gap in it.
Leave a gap. Thank you, our sponsor, for that wonderful message. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can join us on our weekly podcast. Please subscribe, please like and share with your friends if you enjoy what we do. Because you know what? We have fun so that you have fun. Bye for now. Hey, that was quite good, wasn't it? Should do that every time.
That was good, yeah.
I'm going to trademark that.
Yeah.
Good.